And tensions continue to build in Bangkok as police and protesters clash for the Take a look at these visuals. What began as a rally later turned into a clash. As many protesters
here, we're going to walk down to the Capitol and we're going to cheer on.
There's a long silence when I hear the word COVID. How do I choose between a man leaving his mark or being marked unjustly? Nations of feet trampling the street, signs pointing out freedom and hearts ignited by love. You gave us a reason to fight, but more of a reason to rise. We saw business doors close and open, families fall apart and families fall together. We saw communities finally come in unity and others fall by the wayside of discord. Hospitals prioritizing patients by the hierarchy of their health plans and a demand to be seen. We finally sat down and caught up with ourselves. Not just who we were to social media, but the person we forgot still needed growing on the inside. We got time to address the places we call home and love the spaces that we no longer felt connected to. The places we neglected for temporary resolutions. We were faced with the challenge of overcoming our deepest fears. GoFundMes for whole families and many nights without food or income. Many times we'd ask, where is the light? On the news, the death rate keeps rising and law regulations continue to entrap our freedom. I'm here to pose the question, did our freedom exist if we hadn't gotten the opportunity to rise? To be shifted outside of my complacency, outside of my known routine, outside of myself. We desired to be loved and heard, and in the midst of all the fear and pain from the pandemic, we reached a moment where time felt real again, because we began to feel again, because we can easily take all this we feel and tuck it to become numb. We can let it be a cycle of bitterness and resentment, or we can release it and stand in honor of who or what we lost. I received a call of what I thought was the ending of my lineage, but it was the beginning. I just needed to see it that way. I needed to remember the promise embedded in my DNA.
Hey, Mama. How you doing?
Hi, can I get two, please?
Two of them.
Lucy's?
We don't sell Lucy's.
Not here?
No, Mom.
Oh, sure.
No face man, no service. Yeah, no face man, no service. You have to go.
You see this motherfucker? I put my shirt over my face and that's still not good enough. Where did I put this? Of course, I left it at home. You know what's crazy? I'm fully vaccinated and I can't even go into the store and get myself some chips or something to drink without showing some sort of proof or a face shield or something. I swear, being without your vaccination card is like being an underage teen, hoping and praying that they don't ID you when you go into the club. Where did I put that freaking card? And it's like, y'all are so worried about unvaccinated people dying from COVID. People are dying with or without the vaccine. Like, what? How does that even work? Like, who are the weirdos that are so focused on COVID, but yet don't even care about hunger or homelessness? My job is so lucky that they made it mandated, because if not, my ass wasn't getting that vaccine. Meanwhile, I got the vaccine, I got a job, but yet I'm still broke and hungry. Go figure. I swear, I'm gonna die off of stress and starvation instead of go figure. Hello? Yeah, this is her.
Wearing a mask is really important because once you come into a business in a closed area, that's where COVID is really at. If you go outside, yeah, there's COVID, but there's a less of a chance of you getting it. So if you come into a store, any store, or if you come into my store, I need you to wear a mask simply because I have a family. Yeah, I'm not wearing a mask right now, but I have a family that needs to be safe, especially my little nephew that's here with me right now. But I want to say to everybody though, just make sure y'all wear masks because this is something real serious. The beginning of COVID, right? It was rough. Business was down. Talking about we didn't have nothing in the store. Like if you're able to see it now, you'll be like, wow, compared to it was before because we was down on our ass. Like I'm telling you, it was bad. But yeah, I definitely need you guys to always wear a mask though because it's something serious, it's something deadly. I have customers come here every day telling me about their families, how they struggling, how they're dying, how it's just super, like it's just horrible, and the stories that I hear are just depressing. Like I have to go home and just really think about that, and it's just sad. It brings tears to my eyes, and it's just crazy. Hold on. Hello? Hold on, what? Who? Nah, hold on, I'm gonna be there. Give me like 5 minutes. You see, this is the shit I'm talking about.
I remember receiving that call and my aunt telling me that the doctors let her know that we literally had less than 12 hours to make it to my great-grandmother. And at the time, she was living in Florida. And we had planned to go see her before this whole COVID shutdown happened. But then they had the travel restrictions, so we literally couldn't see her. She was fine for like a year during COVID, and then somehow at her nursing home that she was staying at, she got COVID, and it took her out in like one day. This lady beat cancer, this lady beat pneumonia, and then COVID comes and like she's literally doing fine one night, and then the next night it just took a turn and she literally passed away. So it was just a shock for all of our family. She was old and she lived like older and she lived like a beautiful life, but just to have gone and fought through so much and to have one thing because of, I don't know what it, because that question, I question that a lot too, like what was the cause? Like was it somebody at the nursing home? Was somebody not, because she didn't go anywhere else. She lived in a nursing home. So it had me questioning a lot of things like, well, how did this happen? Was it one of the workers who weren't, properly, suited up, or like whatever the cause? So many things. I think like when stuff like this happens, so many things go through your mind. And you're just like, you just want answers. But then over time, you just realize you have to just start moving and continue, to go, so.
Me, what I do, the pandemic, it really didn't affect me. If anything, it boosted things up around the side of town. We just prepared ourselves and prepped everything to prevent the virus from going around as much as we could in this area. So we had to block the roof off, block this all over the plastic and whatnot. Hi, man. We had to block the booth off and things like that and take the proper steps to, prevent everything from spreading around and whatnot. That just comes with the job though. But business didn't stop at all. If anything, it kicked up a little bit because people was in the house bored, writing songs, nothing to do. They just come through, get a couple hours in the studio and get some therapy going. You know what I mean? Go about their merry way. So I think the pandemic probably, I jump on the limb and say it helped me out a little bit, if anything. Definitely. Started experimenting a little bit more, but I do what I do, but it's never gonna hurt to learn a little bit of everything that go around in the room. So I could picture myself as the artist more if I just step in the booth once or twice, sometimes like that, just to get the experience and stuff like that, just to see how I feel. So I can imagine how I would want to be treated while I'm in there rapping. I wouldn't want my engineer walking to the door and going outside and smoking cigarettes while, doing all this nonsense. I want to pay attention to me while I'm in there. So that's why I just dip and dab a little bit just to keep myself refreshed around the studio. You know what I'm saying? Even when I'm the CEO around somewhere, I still want to know how it feels to be the janitor and conduct myself in that same manner. So that was a part of that, just to be able to treat the customers the right way and everything.
Did it affect your family in any type of way, pandemic wise?
Yeah, I had a couple family members who was affected by it deeply, lost businesses and everything like that. But we natural born hustlers, man. We gonna wake up the next day and get right to it. It didn't really slow nothing down if that's what you really trying, It didn't slow nothing down for nobody I'm really close with. Because I surround myself with people that motivate me, so, like my OGs and stuff like that. Like, they going out to get it, man. They don't care about no snow being on the ground. I wasn't raised like that, so yeah, we ate through this whole pandemic. We ate up the legal way, like, you know what I mean? We ate up.
I'm not your slave. I can't work for minimum wage. I take off for a couple of days, and I'm stuck in all my ways. I'm not your slave. Hey, I can't work for minimum wage. I take off for a couple of days.
And tensions continue to build in Bangkok as police and protesters clash for the. Take a look at these visuals. What began as a rally later turned into a clash, as many protesters.
Here, we're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on